What's up, everybody? We got some interesting news about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie last week, and at first, I kinda just shrugged it off, but then it led me to believe that I've figured out a general idea of what the plot of this movie is gonna be. Before we get into that, though, I'd appreciate it greatly if you subscribe so you're not missing out on daily videos here on the channel, which, speaking of, I'm making a change in that regard. There's gonna be no more shorts. Well, maybe the occasional one, but instead, more 4, 5, 6, 10-minute videos covering the news and connecting the dots. But with that being said, let's talk about what Din Djarin and his little green friend are going to be up against in this movie. This news came to us from Christian Harloff, but it was then backed by Bespin Bulletin, and that's the article that I'm going to be diving into here because he provided the details that led me to this theory regarding Embo and Rhoda the Hutt's involvement in this movie. Bespin first backed the details Harloff laid out, like Rhoda having a prominent role in the movie, and that it would follow a similar plot to the Clone Wars movie where Rhoda was kidnapped as a Huttling. Din and Grogu would be in Anakin and Ahsoka's place, with Embo seemingly stepping into Dooku's role. But Bespin also went on to reveal who is gonna essentially be the Palpatine behind the Dooku, of course, in this case, pulling Embo's strings. Bespin believes that the Hutts, Rhoda's own family, hired Embo, and it could be the same two from the Book of Boba Fett. So, there's some potential there if we're gonna see a bit of a, Hutt civil war, while Thrawn gets his forces together on Dathomir because that's of course going to be the big threat of the Mandoverse. He then added that he's heard conflicting things about who's going to be hiring our heroes, which it's the Hutts in the Clone Wars movie, but not here. Well, it actually could be because that's one of the things Bespin has heard, but the much more realistic avenue, in my opinion, and the other one Bespin heard, is the New Republic. We of course saw Zeb in that Celebration trailer, and I don't even remember when that was, but like a year or so ago, and we haven't seen much more since. But that doesn't mean we don't know what's going on because that news, along with what we know about the movie already, and more importantly, where the Mandoverse is heading with Thrawn, I've connected the dots and I think I've put this movie together. I just mentioned Zeb's appearance, and he's of course part of the Ghost crew from Star Wars Rebels, and actually the only living member to not appear in the Ahsoka series. He did appear in Mando Season 3 though, and is going to be back in this movie now, assisting Din and Grogu. They'll seemingly be working to stop Embo, but would the New Republic really hire a bounty hunter and a child in order to stop another hunter from killing a Hutt? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know the New Republic is dumb, but are they that dumb? They can't be. That's why I think that somehow, whether it be the source not being a super nerd or whatever, I'm not trying to throw things around here, things just got a little mixed up in the game of telephone with this scoop, and this movie isn't going to be like the Clone Wars movie, it's actually going to be closer to an episode of the Clone Wars show, Season 1, Episode 22, Hostage Crisis. That's the Season 1 finale, and it actually picks up on the story of the Clone Wars movie, so that's another thing that could have scrambled details. But in the episode, Cad Bane leads a group of bounty hunters and takes a Senate hostage, as that was part of a plan to free Zero the Hutt, Rhoda's uncle, after he was arrested on Coruscant for kidnapping his nephew Rhoda. That's also partially why I find this Mando and Grogu plot hard to believe, but I also just see Embo and his own group of bounty hunters, and he's had a couple throughout the Clone Wars, taking Bane's place in his group in this story. Maybe instead of freeing Rhoda from prison like they did Zero in that story, they're crashing Rhoda's trial and freeing him there, or something along those lines, which is what forces the New Republic to hire Mando. Now, before I wrap this up, tied in that tinfoil cap one more time because I can't decide if I like this theory or not, but I think Jude Law's Jad Nanawood will be there too. He was just arrested on Ad Adin, and I'd assume destroying and robbing a secret Republic planet gets you thrown into the same type of prisons that those fat, ugly Hutts go to. So maybe there's a connection where, Jod and Embo know each other, but that does kind of feel far-fetched, and I don't know. I just feel like it makes sense to include a star like Jude Law in these movies, but then again, Star Wars has always been the star of its own show. And so that'll do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed both the new format and the theory, and hopefully I didn't get too crazy for you, but who knows. Let me know what you want to see from this movie down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.